Hi class 10th. Today we are going to start with the next part of the same chapter, that is acid, bases and salt. So our first topic is how metallic oxides react with acids. So let's take the example of copper oxide which react with hydrochloric acid. So in this reaction you can see double displacement will occur. First, copper oxide is break into copper and oxygen ions. Then hydrochloric acid is break into hydrogen and chlorine ions. After that, the double displacement will take place, which results in the formation of copper chloride and water. Now let's try with some more examples in which metallic oxides react with acid. Our first example is zinc oxide react with hydrochloric acid, which results in the formation of zinc chloride and water. Second equation is aluminium oxide react with sulfuric acid. It will form aluminium sulfate and water. And the third example is of lead oxide, which react with sulfuric acid to form lead sulfate and water. So out of all these equations, we can conclude that when metallic oxides react with acids, it will always form salt and water. So here we have a metallic oxide solution. So when we test this metallic oxide solution with litmus paper, you will see that the red litmus paper will turns blue, which indicates that the metallic oxides are basic in nature. Now our next reaction is how non-metallic oxides react with base. So let's take one example in which sodium hydroxide, that is a base, react with carbon dioxide, that is a non-metallic oxide, to form a salt, that is sodium carbonate, and water molecule, that is H2O. So in these two reactions, we concluded that if metal oxides react with acids or non-metallic oxides react with base, in both the cases we have same results, that is the production of salt and water molecules will take place. One thing more that you have to note down, that non-metallic oxides generally do not react with acids. Now here we have a non-metallic oxide. So when you test this non-metallic oxide with blue litmus paper, you will see that this blue litmus paper turns red, which indicates that the non-metallic oxides are acidic in nature. Now next we will discuss about amphoteric oxides. Now there are some metallic oxides which have the ability to react with both acids and base to produce salt and water. Those metallic oxides are known as amphoteric oxides. Metals which show this behavior are copper, zinc, lead, tin, beryllium and aluminium. Now let's discuss two examples of amphoteric oxide. So first we will discuss aluminium oxide. Aluminium oxide can react with both acid and base to produce salt and water. So let's see how aluminium oxide react with HCl. So when aluminium oxide react with HCl, it will produce aluminium chloride and water, and when it react with base like NaOH, it will produce sodium aluminate and water. Now let's see second example. Lead oxide react with hydrochloric acid. So when lead oxide react with hydrochloric acid, it produce lead chloride and water, and when it react with base like NaOH, it will produce sodium plumbite and water. So in both the cases, when these metallic oxides react with acid or base, they produce salt and water molecules. So now here we conclude that we have four types of oxides. One is acidic oxide, then basic oxide, then amphoteric oxide, and the last one is neutral oxide. Acidic oxides react with base to form salt. Basic oxide react with acids to form salt. Amphoteric oxides react with both acids and base to form salts. and neutral oxide do not react with either base or acids. Now here the word is written alkalis. So let's discuss what is alkali. So alkalis are the base which dissolve in water. So all bases are not alkali, but all alkalis are base, because only few bases dissolve in water, and those bases are known as alkalis. Now let's see how metallic oxides or non-metallic oxides. Now here are some oxides written over here. So first we will see out of all these which one is metal oxide and which one is non-metal oxide, and then we will see that how they react with water. So first we have carbon dioxide, which is a non-metallic oxide as carbon is non-metal, sulfur oxide, non-metallic oxide, calcium oxide as calcium is a metal, so it is a metal oxide, carbon monoxide is again a non-metallic oxide, zinc a metal, so it is a metallic oxide, barium oxide again a metallic oxide, and nitrogen dioxide is a non-metallic oxide. So now let's see what happens when they react with water. So when metal oxides like calcium, zinc or barium oxide react with water, they will produce a base. Like calcium oxide produce calcium hydroxide, zinc oxide produce zinc hydroxide, and barium oxide produce barium hydroxide. And when non-metal oxides react with water, they will form acids. Like carbon dioxide form carbonic acid, sulfur dioxide form sulfurous acid, and nitrogen dioxide form nitric acid. Now let's discuss some question answers. So our first question is, why should curd and sour substance not to be kept in brass and copper vessels? So as we know, curd consists of lactic acid. So when they are kept in brass or copper vessel, they react with them and form poisonous or the toxic elements, which may prove harmful for human body. So they are not kept in metal containers. Now our next question is, which gas is usually liberated when an acid reacts with metal? And also illustrate it with the help of example. And how will you test the presence of this gas? Yes, the answer of this question is, when a metal reacts with an acid, usually hydrogen gas is liberated. For example, zinc when react with dilute sulfuric acid, it will form zinc sulfate and hydrogen gas. And the hydrogen gas so evolved can be tested by passing the gas through the soap solution and then bringing a burning candle near to the soap. You will see that the soap bubbles burst and the hydrogen gas burn with a pop-up sound. Now our next question is, a metal compound A react with dilute hydrochloric acid to produce effervescence. The gas evolve extinguish a burning candle. Write a balanced chemical equation for the reaction if one of the compound formed is calcium chloride. Now to answer this question, let A is that metal compound which on reaction with HCl, that is hydrochloric acid, produce a gas which extinguish the fire, and the gas which extinguish the fire is carbon dioxide. And one more thing is given to us in the question, that is calcium chloride is also produced. So according to the question, what is given to us? A metallic compound. We don't know which metallic compound it is. Let it be A. React with hydrochloric acid to produce carbon dioxide and calcium chloride. Now let's complete this equation. Now as you see, the products will liberate one gas, and that gas is carbon dioxide. So it means the reactant must consist of carbonates. And which metallic carbonates? Calcium carbonates. So when calcium carbonate react with hydrochloric acid, it will produce calcium chloride, carbon dioxide and water. Now, our next topic is, what do all acid or base have in common? So now, let's explain it with the help of an activity. Now, for this activity, we require the following material. The first material that is required is iron nail, a battery, a cork, and a bulb. Now here we have two beakers, and in beaker 1 we have hydrochloric acid, and in beaker 2 we have glucose. So now make the arrangement in such a way. Now take a rubber cork, fix 2 nails into it, and then place this cork in a 100 ml beaker. After this, connect the nail to a 6-volt battery with the help of wires, and also connect a small torch bulb or an emitter in the circuit. Now add dilute HCl into beaker A and glucose in beaker B, and now switch on the battery. So now you will observe that bulb start glowing in arrangement A, which contain hydrochloric acid, which shows that the aqueous solution of hydrochloric acid conducts electricity. And what is the reason behind it? As HCl is dissociate into ions, that is H positive and Cl negative, which is responsible for the conduction of electricity. Whereas in second beaker, which consists of glucose, do not conduct electricity. That is, they do not allow electricity to pass through it, as the bulb does not glow in the arrangement B, which contain glucose. And what is the reason behind that? As glucose do not dissociate into ions, so it will not be able to conduct electricity. So here is the explanation of this activity. The conduction of electricity through the aqueous solution of acid, that is HCl, is due to the presence of ions. For example, HCl solution contain ions, and these ions can carry electric current and thus are responsible for the conduction of electricity. On the other hand, glucose and alcohol do not contain ions or any other ions, and due to the absence of these ions, aqueous solution of glucose or alcohol do not conduct electricity. Now this is all about today's video. Now I want you to answer the following questions. So our first question is, why acid and base in aqueous state conduct electricity? Second question is, what are amphoteric oxide? Give any one example apart from the one that are mentioned in this video. Third question, show with the help of an activity that why alcohol do not conduct electricity. Thanks for watching the video, and press subscribe and like button for more videos.